little girl in a big car. Like, you know, this, I can do this.
Is this your worst nightmare?
Oh, my God. We went to Perth.
Yep.
So I was going over because all my family is there. I was going to see my family. Torbs and I, my partner, we were going for one of his friends' weddings. And you and I, Ryan, were like, well, we've got a few things that we would love to, you know, we'd love to go and meet people in Perth. My book had only just come out like 2 days before. So we were like, oh, we'll do a little book signing. And so we ended up going for like 5 days. And when we landed in Perth, you'd hired a car because you were like, I'm going to be here for a couple of days, just make things a bit easier. And you actually can't really be in Perth without a car.
The public transport isn't...
it's not great. And it
takes ages.
Everything's really far apart as well. Like, the other thing, though, which I did say to you when we were in Perth, which is so funny, is that in Perth, there's parking everywhere. Like in Melbourne, when you go, oh, we'll go somewhere, there's probably no parking. In Perth, there's parking everywhere because there's not really any apartments. So, like, there's
apartments, what fuck places?
I think especially in the city, because it's like, if there's 10 spots on the street, that would normally be enough for 5 houses.
Yeah.
But then they put an apartment building up.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden 300 people live there instead of 2.
Welcome to the Social Demographics podcast.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know how they come out every year and they're like, oh, here's like Australia's most livable city or the world's most livable city. How high up is parking for you? Because I feel like parking is a big issue for you.
Parking, as in like at my house, do you mean?
Just in general life.
Oh, yeah. It's annoying when you go somewhere and you can't park. Or when you go, well, I've got to park ages away, or the parking only lasts an hour.
So
or,
when,
you know, all
when
that
we were
stuff.
looking for a new studio, when we got kicked out of the radio station, we were looking at a few places and it was like...
Can we park there?
What's to do with the parking? And that was before, like, do you have a microphone? Is there a soundproof wall? And you're like, where's the parking?
Well, because I think it's more important because, like, all of, like, a microphone can be bought. I can't like, build a parking space.
Whilst I agree it's important, and I agree with what you just said, when you're thinking about a podcast studio, is a car park more important than a microphone? Well, is it though?
If you were negotiating a work contract, is a parking spot something that you would be like, do I have a parking spot?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Like, I feel like it is something that is, because...
Is it fair to say it's higher on your list than a regular person?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
But if I have to go somewhere every day and spend all day there, I don't want to be going like, sorry, it's 5:02. I've got to go down and move my car.
Pain in the ass.
Or fucking, I've got to redo my parking because it costs $12 a fucking hour or whatever.
Yep.
Anyway, but in Perth, there's like parking everywhere and you need a car. Because we were going to be there for a few days, my brother, who we stayed with, my brother and his wife and their 2 kids, he is a car guy.
Yeah.
And...
He showed us all his cars.
Yeah, so we went and you drove us to pick up the car from my brother.
Yep.
And we went out and saw the car that you'd hired and they went, oh, Mr. Dunn, we'll give you this upgrade because we're out of the other car that you asked for or whatever. And you're like, yep, whatever. Like, I don't care. A car's a car.
Couldn't care less.
And we walked out and it was huge.
Yeah.
Like, you had to pull the car out for us to be able to, like, get our stuff in it.
The car was obnoxiously big.
It was
big, manly 4-drive.
Massive, like a Ford Everest or something. Like, it was just gigantic.
Yep.
And then my brother goes, oh, so the car was going to give you, like, my nephew had it or something or other. And he goes, I'll just give you my car. And I was like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And it was even bigger than the car that you'd hired.
My obnoxiously massive car looked like a Golf, a Mini.
It was like a fucking RV. It's a Land Rover Defender, if that means anything to anybody. So he gives me the car keys and I'm like, Jamie, I can't drive this around. I drive a little hatchback.
Yep.
And
I'm a Yaris girl.
You know? And anyway, he was like, you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. And he's teaching me how to use it and like how the buttons work. And he casually like mentions that the height is 2.1 meters. And I'm kind of like, is that a brag? Like, is that like a, you know, oh, well, I don't know if you know this, but the car's 2.1
It's a
meters.
4.0. If you pop the hood, it's got a 7.3. He dropped a bit of that on me when he was telling me about his sports car.
Oh, yeah. See, like...
Did I do good in just like humouring him?
I wasn't really listening. I was like talking to my sister, but like I get it.
Yeah, because he was like, let's got this. And I was like, fuck, yeah. I was like, I also don't, not being rude, but I actually don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I think he was just excited to meet you as well. Yeah. And because I think you kind of went, oh, you've got the cars around there. He probably took that as you being like, tell me about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
My bad.
No,
Yeah.
but I think it was nice.
Okay.
But anyway, so you and I ran around all morning and did a million things. And we went, okay, cool. We need to be in the city together at 5 p.m. for this book signing.
Yep.
And it was like 2 p.m. We were like, cool, we'll split up for the afternoon. You can go to your hotel. I'll go home, have a shower before we go to this thing. 5 p.m. I think universally is peak hour. And
I think the traditional term is fucked.
yeah, actually, thank you. Yeah.
Traffic, fucked.
The scientific
roads,
term,
fucked.
just absolutely cooked.
Chaos.
And because, like I said, in Perth, everybody drives everywhere.
Yep.
So it's not just buses and trams or whatever. It is actually just a million cars on the road. It's peak hour. We're rushing around. Torbs is in the front passenger seat and he finds this parking garage on St. George's Terrace. St. George's Terrace is probably the main arterial of Perth City.
Is it fair to say every city has those 2 or 3 main city streets, and this is one of them.
And this is one of them.
This ain't some laneway. This isn't near the thing. It's like, this
it's
is the
road.
one.
Yeah. And because there's like a lot of public transport as well, there's probably like every time there's a bus stop, there's probably 6 bus stops because it's like lots of different kind of drop-in, drop-off spots. Torbs finds this parking garage on St. George's Terrace. It's about 2 minutes walk from where I needed to meet you. It's a really narrow entry, kind of like pokey out from the main road. And I'm in this fucking boat.
Yep. It's
like
huge.
I'm trying to drive this fucking building around. And anyway, there's like pedestrians walking up and down. There's all these people walking, people waiting for buses. The traffic is just absolutely fucked. There's people on like e-scooters and shit. Just like there could not be more. Like every man and his dog is like standing exactly where I need to be. I turn around the corner, only just like kind of make it into this entryway, and the parking garage is like down a little hill.
Down a little ramp, yeah.
Yeah, down a little ramp. And
Little hill.
And as I enter the parking garage, there's like all these guys standing like waiting for me to kind of go through so they could keep walking. And they like look down the little ramp, look back at me and go,
Nah.
and shake their head.
This bitch is kidding us.
And I was just like, hey, just because I'm a little girl in a big car, like, you know, this, I can do this. Like, I can reverse park like a motherfucker. Like, there's nowhere I can't get into and out of. It turns out, actually, that was
I was going to say, when you say there's nowhere I can't,
Yeah.
I don't think they were judging the driver, mate. I think they were just doing the maths.
So
Is that fair to say?
Yeah. So they're eyeballing this thing and going, no fucking way. And I'm like, nah, she be right.
Watch it.
I see the hanging bar thing.
Yeah.
You know, the thing that's
Yeah,
like
what's that saying?
clearance 1.9 meters.
What are you rolling?
2.1. Because I didn't even, do you know what? I would not have even, I would have driven there and gotten stuck.
Well,
Like, I would not have even thought about it.
so the two of us have lived the Toyota Yaris life.
Yep.
Where those numbers, who gives a fuck?
I've never read them before.
There's no place a Yaris ain't getting in.
Yeah. So I'm just like, whatever. And if Jamie hadn't have told me what it was, I would have just driven in there and I would have been stuck.
So when did you click that I'm not fitting through there?
After I'd pulled off the main street and was blocking the
Like the footpath?
half of the footpath.
Oh my God.
Because I'd gotten in as far as I could go and it was one way. I couldn't, so it's not as if there was like the exit as well where I could do like an 85-point turn and try and get out of there.
No.
There was no way in. There was no way out. I'm halfway onto the footpath. I'm halfway out of the parking garage. There's about 20 buses. Everything's on fire.
Is this your worst nightmare?
Oh my God, yes.
Because you, even like the cars, like, you hate like taking up space.
Yeah.
You're like,
I
don't
hate
wanna-
being in the way.
I don't want to be in the way. I don't want to inconvenience people. So I know what I'll do. At 5 o'clock, when everyone's just knocked off a minute earlier, they're rushing to catch their train. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to park this boat across the footpath.
Yep, and fuck a bunch of people up, basically. So I'm like stressed about how late I'm going to be. I'm stressed about this thing. I'm trying to reverse this car. Sorry, not car. This fucking recreational fucking vehicle back out of this thing.
737.
And it's got, 700 cameras on it. So I'm like, okay, at least I can see everything.
Yeah.
I start to go and then someone would kind of like run behind the car because they were like, well, what's she fucking doing?
And does that set the beepers off?
Sets the beepers off, but also then they're jumping out of the way. Very dramatic. I wasn't even moving. And but there's like buses, cars, people on bikes, people walking, everything moving behind me. It's fucking peak hour. I can't do anything. I'm like stuck in this huge car and instead of being like, all right, I just need to get out of here, I just froze. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I actually don't know what to do because I can't go in, I can't get out. There's a million people watching me, and I just started to panic.
Would you say you're calm in a crisis?
Normally, no. And this was
this
no
time,
exception.
No. Also no.
So
because your normal reaction, like fight or flight, you are a flight. You're a fucking run.
yeah, I'm just like, cool, that's not for me.
So one time you drove to work here
Yeah.
and there wasn't a car park and you went, I'm going home.
Well,
and you went home and then
what else was I going to do?
find a park.
But there was no parking.
Well, there wasn't a park directly out the front. But your natural reaction is like, I'll just leave and I'll figure this out later.
Because I don't like to waste time either. So I'm kind of like, oh, right.
But
that's
your
fine.
natural response is not available to you because they just go is...
I can't just go. Yeah. I can't just leave.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. The natural reaction is not available to you at this time.
100%.
So what did you do?
I was like...
And you walked home from Perth.
Yeah.
Do you think it's up to people when they go, oh, she's pulled into the wrong spot, poor bitch, I'm just going to get out of her way?
Let's give her a sec.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have thought so.
If I was in that situation, I'd be panicked. So maybe I'll just stand here and just go, hey, what's 60 seconds to me at the end of the day?
Well, so... in the end, there was only one option. And it was me being like, Torbs, you have to get out of the car.
No, you did not.
And stop the traffic. So Torbs gets out of the car and he stops all the foot traffic, enough for me to kind of like back out onto the street. And then as I'm out of the sidewalk and everyone's kind of stopped because I'm obviously moving,
Yep.
then he walks onto the street and stops the 3 lanes of cars and buses and bikes as well, because I needed to get out onto the road too. No one was letting me in.
Oh.
And I backed out and I kind of was halfway on the pedestrian crossing because I just had to try and like maneuver this fucking boat out of this tiny spot. And then I was like, I've got to find more parking. I ended up finding another spot and sprinting to the signing where we were meeting everybody. I'm in such a flap and I'm just like so pissed off that like my brother, love him to death. Like he is... I love him so much. But at the time, I'm like, why did he give me this huge fucking car? Like, I was just so upset. We get home from the book signing, right? And he was like, oh, how'd everything go? And I was like, oh, my God, your car is massive. And he was like, oh, what happened? He's like laughing. And I was just like, yeah, so luckily you told me how tall it was. And he goes, where was your book signing? And I was like, in the city. He goes, St. George's Terrace parking garage. He goes, I've been stuck there a couple of times. I was like,
thanks for the heads up,
yeah,
mate.
thanks
Jesus
so much.
Christ.
He knew the exact one I was talking about. And I was like, great.
Great.
Thanks so much.
Oh, appreciate that.